Alright, I'm going to talk a little bit more about archetypes. So if you haven't watched my video about personal archetypes, please check that out first. It'll give you a little bit of a groundwork to understand this one. But I want to talk about compatibility in relationships and how your relationship archetype fits into that. So people ask me all of the time, am I compatible with this person, or is this sign compatible with this sign? And obviously, as any astrologer knows, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So we can't just say, oh, Pisces and Scorpio are compatible. Fundamentally, theoretically, water signs are compatible with each other, fire signs are compatible with each other, etc. And the, masculine gendered signs and the feminine gendered signs tend to also be more compatible with each other on paper and theoretically. But it's definitely not a matter of like sun sign plus sun sign kind of a thing. And again, if you don't know what that is, the sign that you say that you are, that's your sun sign. That's just one planet in the chart, and it's really not always the most important, especially in terms of relationships. So okay, your relationship archetype. Now this is so cool, because haven't you seen somebody before who is dating somebody that's just not good for them? They're just not their type. And oftentimes we sort of understand what our friends' types are, but they don't really know it yet, and we watch them date kind of the wrong people, or we're dating the wrong people. So when we have a relationship archetype built into the chart, and if you go against that kind of a person, if you date not that person, you're just sort of setting yourself up for failure. You're just going after the wrong person. It's never gonna really work. So how do we figure out the archetype here? So 7th house represents relationships. It represents the first marriage. So it gets a little more complex if you've been married more times. So I'll talk about that maybe in another video if any of you are interested. But just for the sake of this video, 7th house for that first marriage, or for relationships, your relationship archetype. So, and again, I'm going to talk about my chart here because it's accessible to me. If you have any questions about your chart, please reach out to me. So 7th house, my 7th house is Gemini. So, and Gemini is owned by Mercury. So my relationship archetype is a mercurial person. Mercury, as we know, is neutral in terms of its attitude. It tends to stay neutral. It's a messenger, and it's a communicator. Sometimes that's a teacher. And Mercury is in Virgo. Virgo is the sign of the scientist, the sign of the expert, and Mercury in my chart's in the 10th house of business. So my archetype of a relationship partner is somebody who is a communicator, who's intelligent, has expertise, who has a scientific personality. There's a sort of grounded quality to them. And they'll be involved in my business, or they'll be some kind of business person that will help me in my business because they're in my 10th house of career. So if I'm dating somebody who is not a sort of professional, scientific, logical, grounded person, then I'm just setting myself up to fail, because that is the archetype that is designed into my chart, that not necessarily that I need, but that it's the one that will work for me. It's the one that I've been given. So that's my archetype. And so then when you're looking at compatibility, what you really want to do is look at the archetypes of both charts. So on the 7th house, I'd look at my archetype, and then I'd look at the 7th house archetype of someone else. So if I'm looking at someone who's compatible with me, then I want to see that their chart has some of these qualities of Virgo, Gemini, maybe some 10th house activities, so they're having a business kind of quality to them. And then we want to see what their 7th house archetype is. So it would have to fit my general concept of who I am. So if they had Sagittarius on the 7th house cusp, with the Jupiter, in a sign that was reflected in my energy, maybe Jupiter in Leo, or Jupiter in Sagittarius, someone that where the 7th house reflected kind of my Leo and Sagittarius qualities, that would be a really good fit. It could also, so there's different ways you could go about it. So you just want to, the best way to show relationship compatibility, in my opinion, is to make sure those archetypes are a match. So I hope that was helpful. I get a lot of questions about relationships, so please feel free to send me your questions, post on the YouTube. I also answer questions on Quora, and I really also post a lot of great articles on my website if you want to learn more about astrology, dannypugh.com. And I just love teaching you guys about astrology, and I'm always curious to hear what you want to know more about. So please reach out and let me know what you want to learn more about. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.